Welcome back to Whilton Mill. We are about to go racing once again for Honda Cadet Heat number 4. And then once we've got that sorted, we'll be able to find out who's managed to make it through to the A final and who'll be going into the runoff in the B final. Harry Samuel will start on pole position then, with James Winstanley alongside Ayrton Rye and Max Wheatley on row 2, James Fabricius and Alfie Forrester on row 3. Joshua Owen will be row 4 with Larry Price alongside in P8. Amy Peacock and Lewis Hall then will complete the top 10. Maximus Lewis and Jack Collinson on row 6. Alex Lynn and Ethan Charles will start 13th and 14th respectively, with Stanley Clark and Max Williams on row 8. Bobby Pete and Tom Drake row 9. Harris Alley and Isabella Stansmore Wilson will complete the top 20, with Mason Webster and Harris Roberts on row 11. Freddie Lyons and Cam Tipping are on row number 12, with Jensen White and Freddie Houseago completing our runners. So a bit of a smaller grid, certainly down from we've had 29 or so, we've got 26 this time. What's happened there is we've had at least 2 runners that haven't attended that were originally signed on. It looks like they should have both been in this final heat. We've got a couple of runners as well that are missing out, as we've got one driver in the background there, helmet on, but is being entertained by my 2 beautiful doggies in the background. So he's having some fun out there with those 2. So we'll have a quick think. If anybody, in fact, in the live chat comments can think of an entertaining poll, just drop it in and we'll steal your ideas. We're a big fan of that. Up to 4 answers, so we'll pop that in. So don't be going, oh, what's your favourite track or anything like that, because we'd have to list them all, and then everybody will be arguing as to why it's Whilton Mill. But yeah, have a quick look, have a quick think. Okay, we've got Tracy Carter's in the live chat comments saying, hope you have better luck this time for Tom Carter. So he's had a great race in the first Junior Max, running right at the front. The second one, not so much, because he was trimming the grass on the way up to Christmas Corner. And a couple of dancing Micro Max drivers there. I'm not sure what tune's going on in both their heads, but it looks like they've both got the same one, as they, I think the track staff here at Whilton might take exception to them doing that to the chain link fence, but nonetheless, they seem to be having some fun out there. So Hondas are going to be out next, and what happens with our Honda class is, because it's quite a big field, all of our runners get 3 out of 4 heats. The top 20 then in points, they automatically go into the A final here at CKC. The remaining runners that are available to race, if they've not got a problem with their kart or they've not scored enough points, they're going to go into the B final. And the top 10 in that B final, positions 1 down to 10, they're going to go in 21st and 30th position in that final. I think, is there a third driver joining them now? An additional bit of strength there to remove the Whilton Mill catch fencing. The easier mementos to take home with you there, boys and girls. You can just think, there we go. I think we've had somebody coming down just to say, can you leave our fence alone, please? Just pick up some track rubber or the odd bolt that's strewn around the paddock. You don't have to take the whole fence home with you. Looks like we are about to go out, though. There is James Fabricius. He's going to go off the 3rd row. Look for him to potentially come through and win this race, because he has got a lot of base. We've got other drivers that we'd expect to run generally at the front, but they're coming through from much further down the field in this heat, with it being a random grid and split into the 3 quarters of the grid. So you get 1 front, 1 middle, and 1 rear. So top, middle, or bottom, strike it rich style for those of you that are probably over the age of about 35 and can remember what that was on the TV back when Saturday night was all about proper game shows. But, we'll about to go racing, I think, then with Hondas. It looks like the previous race has finished, because it looks like everybody is patiently, or impatiently for some, looking at the Marshal, who not only covers the outside of the final corner in the Marshal's post there, but also covers the pit lane to give them the green flag to get out onto the circuit. And final tyre pressure check there from Mr. Fabricius, so he's just checking that out. Got an update actually as well from that previous race in Minimax, just getting updates in from the family of Addison Smith. He was the driver that was hobbling off into the ambulance. He is well, and not sure the kart's going to see another race, although there is work going on down there, but I've seen a picture and there's very little of the front end left on it. But we wish Addison well. Hopefully, if they can get the kart fixed, he can get out, and there's well wishes coming in as well from people that know Addison Smith. Hello as well to Jordan Guy. He's watching at home. He's part of Team Mentia in the same Minimax class. Unfortunately, he couldn't make the trip down to cheer Lizzie on, but he's watching at home doing the cheering in front of the camera. Honda's then making their way out onto the circuit, and see there down towards the tail end of the field in this one is Harris Roberts, driver of the 45. We know he's got a lot of speed, but in this case, because he's got so many karts in front of him, he will naturally need a little bit of luck. And I know there's a saying in karting and in life about making your own luck, but sometimes, as we saw in that Minimax race, you don't always get a choice as to whether that luck is all down to yourself. They're going to come around then, get themselves sorted and into grid positions. The helpers are already making their way down onto the grid here at Whilton Mill. This looks like the 12 of Max Wheatley was just slowing ever so slightly there. Pleased to see that kart is actually still in one piece, because we did go airborne earlier on over the top of Ralphie Branscombe. Luckily for Branscombe, he's not out in heat number 4. His work was done in heats 1, 2 and 3, although he may end up going now into the B final, having not completed one of the races. But he will have work to do, and certainly now his dad's down there rebuilding some part of that front end. There's a bent stub axle and a few other things as well. We've got a couple of drivers down there, looks like on the back of the pack, Freddie Housego and Jensen White, who I don't think we were expecting to see, but they are there on the back of the pack anyway. And, what looks to be 27th and 28th. They certainly weren't on the grid when we were running through them, because it stopped at 26, which did seem like quite a small number actually when we've been running to 29 and 30 drivers in other heats. But they are gridded up and ready to go. And I know Jensen White was due to go off 26th anyway, so he's down there at the right end, and we were expecting to see him in heat 4. We are away and racing. It's a good start from Larry Price. He's come out of the pack on the third row and slotted straight in behind Fabricius, who's going to make his way through as well, is he? Let's see if everybody can get cleanly round that first couple of corners. Jack Collinson's got his both arms up off the wheel there, either in frustration or just trying to will that kart on. I think it's probably more likely to be frustration. There's a bit of weaving in the background as our runners make their way cleanly through, and you can see there Harris Roberts in the 45, not too eager actually to make overtakes, though we'll have a few down the inside there, but didn't want to ruin his race, as we've got a couple around. Ethan Charles, Alfie Forrester as well, facing the wrong way, and is that's either Stanley Clark or Jensen White down there. They both run very, very similar liveries, both have a white helmet on as well. So let's see how this one goes, as it looks like Fabricius has moved through into lead of Harry Samuel then in second place. Larry Price is going to come to the inside as they get to the pit bend, and we'll see who that runner was further down when they come through and over the line. Fabricius then leading the way. Price, Samuel, Rye, Peacock, Wheatley, Lynn, Hall, Stansmore, Wilson and Harris Roberts already up to P10. And we said early doors there with that one, I think it was Stanley Clark's going to come through. That was the driver that looked like he was off, although Jensen White down there as well, Ethan Charles and Alfie Forrester, all 4 of those drivers off on the opening lap here at Whilton Mill, as Amy Peacock has got past Ayrton Rye for 4th place. So Harris Roberts, whilst he didn't look like he was, taking unnecessary risks in the early part of that race, already up into 10th, making his way through the rest of the pack, although the front end of this Honda Cadet Heat 4, at least the top 5 or 6 that we expect to see, let's say Fabricius, Price, Samuel, Rye, Peacock as well, they're going to come through. Very, very strong, as Amy Peacock runs incredibly wide there. So Harris Roberts with Isabella Stansmore Wilson now behind. So it looks like he is going to move up into 9th place at least. It's actually 8th because Lewis Hall has dropped a few. So Harris Roberts is going to start trying to move through, but now he's going to start meeting a higher caliber of driver in front. Alex Lynn in front of Harris Roberts. Roberts has a little tag of his rear, but Lynn has also picked up a contact warning. Near comes Harris Roberts trying to dive to the inside, has to go back in. Max Wheatley in front as Harris Roberts picks up a slight contact warning as well. I think that was where he just ran into the back of Alex Lynn earlier on, and there he goes down the inside into Oziers, catches a bit of curb and can't get through. That potentially could balk exit, and he may have to defend now from Isabella Stansmore-Wilson and Bobby Pete in the 54 behind. They're all nose to tail, and Pete tries to get half a move down the inside of Stansmore-Wilson. That's ruined his exit, and Jack Collinson then is going to come through down the inside. Harris Roberts does finally manage to get past Alex Lynn as he has to now defend from Isabella Stansmore-Wilson. Those two carts liveried up the same in the livery of one of our kind sponsors, Alchemy Car Care, down there into Christmas Corner. Almost at half race distance, and Fabricius is 1.8 away from Larry Price. Harry Samuel defending superbly from Amy Peacock in fourth place. You can see them straight in front. Looks like Peacock may have actually got through now on Harry Samuel as once again, Harris Roberts goes down the inside of Ayrton Rye on the same corner, and Rye this time far more compliant than what Alex Lynn was on the previous lap. And in the background, that's going to potentially lose another place as Stansmore-Wilson comes through. A split now between those two as Harris Roberts has moved up. She's now on the back of Ayrton Rye as they come over the line. As we get confirmation of Peacock moving up into third, Roberts is up into fifth, Stansmore-Wilson up into seventh, and here she is right on the back of Ayrton Rye, heading up towards Christmas Corner. Rye will look to go to the inside to defensive in the background. Jack Collinson hard on the brakes down the inside, and Bobby Pete is turned into a spin. He went down the inside into a gap that was always going to close. There were three wide, and now he has to wait patiently for the rest of the field to come through. He's going to rejoin, but he's going to rejoin down in around about 20th place. Max Williams picks up a contact warning for something that we missed off screen. And that has calmed things down a little bit because it's split up a little bit of that midfield battle. And when I say from there, it was about 7th down to about 12th. They were all in the same sort of area. Now it's sort of split them up a little bit, and they are all running with a fair gap between them until you get down to about Ayrton Rye and Max Wheatley, who are crossing the line pretty much nose to tail with Jack Collinson behind. There we are then with Collinson right on the back, and Jack Collinson at the moment is the driver on the move. Every lap he's making an overtake up into this Christmas Corner, and he is through and up into 8th place. Max Wheatley will drop down as Amy Peacock and Larry Price use the concrete rumble strip, and Price has been closed in by Amy Peacock in the final stages of this race. Still 1 minute and 50 remaining, so we're going to get probably 3, maybe 4 laps of Honda action here in this race at Whilton Mill, and Peacock will try now to get the cut back to the inside, although Larry Price, he knows what he's doing and parks that car about half a cart length away from the white line. So not using all of the track as Amy Peacock tries to get through. She comes to the inside. Now it's all about lining up the cart down in towards Christmas Corner, and Larry Price is defending already with 1 minute and 20. And this second place goes to the white line on the inside, holds a firm position with Amy Peacock trying to get past her. She will have to go right round the outside there if that is the move that she's going to do. And we'll see whether she gets a run. These two aren't really overtaking opportunities, apart from Harry Roberts, who's actually used it to his advantage a few times in getting through there. And he's going to be on the back of this battle if these two keep going before the end of the race. Peacock has half a look down the inside of Larry Price. He's going to maybe overcook it a little bit there, but now Peacock will come to the inside. Who's going to be brave? Peacock has the inside, but not enough of her 17 down the inside. And as we expected, those two battling has invited Harris Roberts to this second place party. He's right on the back now, and he's going to be down the inside of Amy Peacock for third place. And can he take the battle to Larry Price? But not at this opportunity. He does set the fast lap of the race, but Amy Peacock has managed to hold on to third place. Last lap board will be out this time because we've only got 20 seconds or so remaining, as Roberts now goes down the inside into the left-hander down the inside. Actually gives Peacock a lot more space than he really needed to, actually, because he could have run right their way off the circuit there. But good driving from Harris Roberts. Good fair as well. Gives a cart length to the 17 of Amy Peacock as they come through then into the boot section. And now Peacock helping them through as Fabricius is already down the road in this Honda Cadet heat number 4. There's confirmation on the screen. Last lap, and what you don't want here for these drivers is to throw away what could be a fairly comfortable passage into the A final by doing anything silly on the final lap. There is more. You don't win trophies and you don't take a huge amount of points compared to the final away from your heat. So you don't want to do anything silly for a second place and a third, if you know, by throwing it away and crossing the line potentially outside the top 10 and not picking up valuable points for your position in the final. Harris Roberts has half a move down the inside of Larry Price into that corner, and that's what we were saying about not doing anything too silly. He's having to defend them from Amy Peacock into the boot for the final time. Over the line already in a few moments will be Fabricius for the victory. Side by side though into the final corner, Harris Roberts and Larry Price. Price is going to hold on for second place. Harris Roberts in third. That's going to be good enough to put him at the sharp end in the final.